Welcome back to the Triangle Strategy.
After retaking Whiteholm Castle, Roland assumes the throne. Joy over the return of the line of Glenbrook sweeps the kingdom.
So here we are again, once again reclaiming the throne. Much more significant this time around.
Life under Frosty rule treated them well, and they suspect him to be naught but a figurehead of a puppet regime.
Mentioned this last episode too, you know, the usurping of the throne, or I guess reclaiming the throne, is much stronger for Roland because he beat Avlora. So his right as a king has been established by beating the strongest in the realm. Considering Avlora defeated the Dawnspear, she became the strongest. And then Roland defeats her, therefore he's the strongest. Best way to rise
absence, it seems,
as a king.
Made room for discord among his subjects to flourish.
Here again, looking to decide between three routes. We're still gonna go for the bandit route. This time we're gonna get Trish, because we went morality on chapter 11.
So that is what happened in my absence.
Yes. Gustadolf was a clever ruler. After the invasion, Patriatte and his royalists cozied up to Espros in order to protect themselves. Gustadolf used them to his every advantage. He stripped them of their privileges and left them nothing but their governing responsibilities. I don't think Patriatte much cared for that, but it did ensure everything continued smoothly, without interrupting the people's lives.
Now I understand why there was little unrest after the occupation began.
A clean, effective takeover by a well-seasoned commander.
But all the while, he was preparing to face the next conflict.
Wait, does he intend to march on Hierophant next?
I believe so. I wish I could be more specific. But the goddess's shield cannot protect the Holy State's capital from Espros. Not anymore. He said it will all be over once the death knell is ready.
What is this death knell?
A new weapon born from the coupling of his frosty ironworking and explosive projectiles. Valis claimed it is powerful enough to break through the goddess's shield.
To think Espros is capable of creating such a monstrosity.
So much for their reign of peace. Taking over Glenbrook was only the first move in a bigger gambit to seize the source.
I am disturbed to learn of Gustadolf's plan, but rebuilding our capital must take priority.
Very well. We should investigate the extent of the damage and discuss how best to proceed from there. House Wolfort will lend whatever aid you need.
Thank you, Serenoa. But since you are one of their saintly 7 now, I'd ask you to keep an eye on Hierophant as well.
This drama queen.
Cordelia?
Chill out.
Apologies. A brief spell of dizziness.
I have been looking everywhere for you, Your Highness.
Patriatte.
I do not recall giving you leave of the infirmary. Your injuries are still healing.
What injuries?
Would you undo all the trouble I went through to get you the best of care? Pray, return to the infirmary at once.
It wouldn't do to push yourself, Cordelia. Rest now. Leave everything to me.
All right.
They made it as vague as they can, so it works in that premise.
We got a pretty good understanding of the damage in the capital, my lord.
Nah, really?
A tad more than we were expecting.
That statement alone validates the premise.
Then we must make haste with repairs. Let's report this to Hierophant and see what aid they can give us.
So I guess Hierophant raised the
of note besides damage?
city, the town.
There ain't an easy way of putting this, but not everyone's exactly pleased to hear Prince Roland's returned. Espros exempted Glenbrook's subjects from the salt tax. Likely a bid to get in everyone's good graces. And a damn good one at that. But more than that, The so-called freedom Gustadolf brought to the kingdom seems to have made a splash. He threw out the old ways and made it so anyone could better their lot in life dependent on their ability, instead of their birthright.
Just as in Esfrost.
Then the people must have looked quite favorably upon Gustadolf's rule.
I wager folks ain't too pleased to see us, since they figure it means things will go back to how they used to be.
Roland surmised as much. We must do something to show the people his is a return worth celebrating.
Anna, have you looked into the state of affairs in the castle?
Yes. The head of the Royalists, Minister Patriatte, is extending his influence. He made quite the name for himself, even under Gustadolf. Though he seems eager enough to support King Roland, he was just as eager to serve the Archduke. I do not believe we can trust him.
Distinguished members of House Wolfford, how hard you are all working to rebuild our capital. What a delightful thing to see.
Minister, you do us a great honor visiting us out of all the many other responsibilities that must vie for your attention.
Oh, come now, do not think yourself so insignificant. The entire kingdom owes you its thanks, myself included, of course. We are so grateful for House Wolfford's aid, even though you now serve a different master.
We are only doing what any of King Roland's loyal vassals would.
Speaking of the king, I'm afraid we've a bit of a problem. His Majesty seems to be entertaining thoughts of retaliating against Esfrost. But the people have had their fill of war, and I'm sure you're already aware the people look upon the royal line with disfavor. I only beg you take every care going forward.
A warning.
Even so, there is naught we can do but focus on rebuilding.
Indeed. Let us return to the king and apprise him of our progress.
I would walk the city with Sheila a bit longer and speak with the people.
As you wish. But this is not the capital you knew. Be careful, my love.
Oh, it seems we still have lingering character stories. Let's do that before we move on.
What's so urgent you can't let a man sleep?
Nothing less than the completion of my groundbreaking research, Eridor.
Oh. Well now, that is something.
Indeed it is. I've managed to thermodynamically stabilize the quasi-liquid film forming on the surface of the...
Yes, I've heard all that. Now tell it to me in words a man can understand.
Right. Well, in layman's terms, I have created ice that never melts.
See how simple... Did you say ice that never melts? That's mighty impressive and all, but what actual good does that do anyone?
My dear, sweet, simple Eridor. We can use my creation to forge weapons with no need for iron.
Sounds useful, if it works as you say. But how's the durability?
Silly soldier. Do you take me for a fool? Of course I tested their durability. Worry not. A prototype shall arrive shortly. I bid you try it out for yourself. For better or worse, you're the most experienced soldier I know. And so I'd have you handle it first.
That sounds big and important. I reckon I'll take you up on it.
What news? Surely it's finished by now.
Afraid not. I come bearing unfortunate news from the smithy. It seemed plenty sturdy at first, but shattered the moment he took a hammer to it. He says it has a long way to go before it can be used in place of iron, I'm afraid.
Preposterous! My calculations were impeccable. Surely I have not forsaken my homeland in pursuit of a fool's errand.
That's all a bit dramatic, isn't it? You can't have a breakthrough without breaking a couple of ice blades. You know what'd wash away all that pain? A nice cold glass of spirits. Spirits? That's it! That unmelted ice of yours could chill him forever, could it not? Groundbreaking indeed. This invention of yours could still take the world by storm.
And I reckon the army'd have use for it as well. It'd keep our rations from going off. Weapons be damned. You've done very important work.
The fact remains that my calculations were in error. So forgive me my reluctance to.
Less sulking, more drinking. You succeeded, haven't you? Right then.
Good
This will be
point.
my treat, and I won't be turning in till you do.
Very well. Scientific breakthroughs never come easily, I suppose. Perhaps my next experiment shall be seeing how many rounds my everlasting ice can chill. Right then, to the encampment with us. 'Tis time for a drink or three.
That's the spirit. Just promise me I won't have to haul your drunken ass home this time.
Still got more coming for Narve, huh? Yeah, Narve's an all-rounder. All element magic and healing.
This rate, I'll never come close to carrying on Grandfather's legacy. Maybe I was never destined to be a great mage after all.
Ow! It hurts!
Oh no, the poor child's fallen. Hey there, are you hurt?
Ow! It hurts so bad I can't even stand!
Not to worry. I'll fix you right up. So dry those tears.
Really?
Yup. The pain will disappear like magic. You'll see.
Wow! It doesn't hurt anymore. Thank you, sir! Grandma, look! My leg's all better now!
Well, I'll be. Thank you so much for healing my grandson.
You don't need to thank me. This is nothing.
Those robes. You wouldn't happen to be a student of the Archmage Grandante, would you?
You know my grandfather?
Oh, of course I do. What a great man he was, always using his magic to help those in need, much like you. I was just one of many whose lives he saved. Why, that was over 30 years ago. I lost my house to the fires of war and nearly my life along with it. But he quenched the flames with his spellcraft and healed my burns. Had it not been for the Archmage Grandante, I would not be here today. I am forever in his debt.
Even though Grandfather's name was erased from Hyzant's records, his memory lives on in the people he helped.
It sounds like he was a truly amazing man indeed. And I know he would be proud of you for following in his footsteps.
Do you really think so?
I do. And I have no doubt that one day you will restore the glory to your grandfather's name. No matter what the Ministry does to erase his existence, his spirit lives on through you.
Right. But I must keep practicing, that I might help even more people with my spells. Just watch me, Grandfather. I'll restore the honor of your name if it's the last thing I do.
Alright, resuming.
There are more who accepted Esfrost's rule than I imagined.
Glenbrook's history is long. Yet, that is why hierarchy and precedent hold sway. This is a stubborn land, my lady, not given to easy change. Though Archduke Gustadolf, acting in the name of freedom, granted privilege after privilege to the powerful. For people used to Glenbrook's rigid customs, I suppose that sort of change must have been too seductive to resist.
Perhaps, but his freedom was naught but greed and cruelty.
Lady Frederica, I've been searching everywhere for you.
A Wolffort messenger. Did you run all this way? What's happened?
My lady, I hail from Castle Wolffort, bearing tidings of Lord Simo.
Has he awakened?
He has. He is in high spirits and recovering well. And he is most pleased to hear of the capital's recapture. He bids you visit Castle Wolffort so he can honor you himself.
Oh, I must bring these glad tidings to Serenoa at once. How long it has been since I've seen him smile.
There is one more bit of news I have for you, my lady, but it is not so happy.
Is there some sort of trouble in the Wolffort domain?
Bandits are laying waste to the Rosellan Village. To our shame, Castle Wolffort does not have enough soldiers to stop this. We would beg Lord Serenoa's wisdom in this matter.
The enemy must be powerful indeed. We cannot leave the Rosellan Village defenseless.
Let us inform the others. Messenger, with us.
Well, well. Things are about to get interesting.
The coronation ceremony. Certainly there are more important matters to focus on right now.
A coronation is important to assuage the people's fears and restore their faith, besides which it is the Royalists' most fervent wish. A kingdom is only truly as strong as people believe it to be, and right now the world believes Glenbrook weak. The ceremony will be a display to the contrary.
Is this truly the remedy our situation calls for? Right now, I imagine the people care only for where their next hot meal will come from.
Rest assured, sire, House Wolffort will see your subjects shan't go hungry. But trust me when I say nothing will hasten Glenbrook's return to her former glory so much as announcing the return of Regna's rightful heir. To win your subjects' hearts, you need do nothing but ascend to your position upon the throne.
You mean sit my royal backside on a fancy chair?
In a manner of speaking. A king's duty is first and foremost serving as his kingdom's symbol. You needn't trouble yourself with day-to-day governance. We will assume that burden. After all, you have only just been crowned.
There will be no ceremony. The people will tell us what they need, and you will listen to them, Patriatte. That is my command.
As you wish, King Roland.
How fare things, Chouette? Have the relief supplies been given to those who need it?
Well, we had received a sizable shipment of goods from Hyzant, but there are complaints. It seems very few of those goods have made it into the hands of the people.
And why is that?
We aren't certain, though apparently Patriatte and the Royalists involve themselves with the distribution.
Damn those Royalists! They cannot be left to their own devices.
The Royalists do the dirty work, though.
House Wolfort and Minister Exham's forces have reclaimed the Crown City. And not only that, they have dealt a heavy blow to the Esfrosti forces in killing Thalys and other commanding officers.
We couldn't have hoped for a better outcome.
Oh, to see Gustadolf's face when he hears the news. Now he'll have no choice but to come crawling to us on hands and knees, begging for salt. Though, this could be our chance to crush the duchy once and for all.
Just because they're licking their wounds does not make them easy prey. They still have their iron, after all.
Ha! Iron. We can get iron. All we need do is make Glenbrook hand over the Grand Rosellan mines to us. A paltry price to pay for our bountiful aid in their restoration of the Crown City.
The Grand Rosellan mines. The spark that lit the flame of Esfrost's aggression. But why go through the trouble to seize an iron source when they have all the iron they could ever need? I should have Milo look into the matter.
Minister Idor?
Well, regardless, we control the salt. I say we bide our time until Esfrost admits they are defeated. Besides, Glenbrook seeks our aid in their reconstruction efforts, do they not?
Yes. King Roland and Minister Serenoa have both asked for help, and sent reports detailing the extent of the damage to the Crown City.
Send forth a veritable bounty. To Minister Serenoa of the Saintly Seven, that is.
Ah, yes. A show of the goddess's grace to the people, and as a wedge to drive between him and the king.
Esfrost, Glenbrook. They will both be ours before long.
I guess Idor is the biggest villain of them all. Gustadolf is just a twisted idealist.
Thank you all for helping to determine the extent of the damage to the capital. This information will be invaluable as we proceed with reconstruction. There is also happy word from Castle Wolfort. My Lord Father is awake. They say he is recovering apace and is already up and walking.
Those are glad tidings indeed.
He says he would like to see us and hear of all that has passed while he was taken ill.
Then what are we waiting for? I'll saddle the horses.
Would that we could depart at once, but the messenger brought another piece of news.
Bandits plague the outskirts of the Rosellan Village.
Jerome and his folk are there. They can handle a few mangy thieves, surely.
Not according to the messenger. The bandits are proving a formidable foe.
Which is why they have asked us for aid.
Apologies for my tardiness. It's sudden, I know, but I must ask you a favor.
What is it?
I suspect Patriatte and his royalists of filching relief supplies.
We've no proof it's them, but the fact remains. The people in most need of those goods are not receiving them.
The matter warrants investigating at the very least, and I would ask for Wolfort's assistance.
I see. Well, we were just discussing what we ought to do next. Allow me to explain the 3 courses of action before us. 1. Return to Castle Wolfort as my Lord Father requests. 2. Defend the Rosellan Village from bandits. Or 3. Remain in the capital to investigate the Royalists.
Lord Simon has recovered. What splendid news. If I could only go to him myself and thank him for all House Wolfort has done. But I cannot leave the capital in the throes of a possible scandal. Too many hold the royal family in contempt as it is.
That may be the case, but now that Lord Simon has awoken, someone must make sure he is healthy and apprise him of recent events. I would go to Castle Wolfort, Lord Serenoa, if it pleases you.
My heart breaks for the Rosellan Village. Let me go to its defense, even if I must go alone.
I cannot allow that. It's far too dangerous a task for one person.
Well, I would have the Wolfort soldiers with me, of course.
Besides, do you recall our first meeting?
Of course I do. You were being assailed by rogues at the port.
If you hadn't been there, who knows what would have become of me.
But I am not as weak now as I was then. I am stronger, enough that I shall bring no dishonor to House Wolfort's name. My lord, have faith in me. Let me do this.
Very well.
It seems best that Benedict, Frederica, and I each attend to these pressing matters, separately.
Indeed, but the rest of us cannot be in 3 places at once. We can only choose one path to take. Bring the scales of conviction.
Cannot help but feel restless. We reclaimed the Crown City and have already begun restoration efforts. There should be no question as to what needs to be done here. And yet something has me unsettled. Exploring first. I must admit, I am deeply fascinated by you, Lord Serenoa. A lord turned saint who won back his kingdom from Frosty clutches and saw the prince back to his throne. I can only wonder how your people will welcome such a hero home. Pray allow me to accompany you, my lord. If I go to Wolfort, I suppose Milo will be coming with me. That's saved best for the last route. Father and daughter, that sounds like Travis and Trish. So we're going for Trish this time. But what could be day after of? Okay, we won back some trust from others. So you allowed yourselves to be used by the Archduke, and now that he is gone, you change your tune yet again. She got real defensive real quick. will of course expedite officially restoring trade, but it is critical that we stabilize our salt supplies. And we could accomplish that quicker and avoid any unnecessary confusion by using the merchants. Pretty short exploration. Just enough before the last one when we pick a route. Or maybe this is another one. As the steward of House Wolfcourt, it is my duty to let Lord Simon know what happened while he was ill. Okay, we can convince him.
Lord Serenoa.
We finally managed to rout the Esfrosti forces from the capital. But it seems our busy days are not over yet. Now we must decide which issue requires our attention most. You would have us accompany Lady Frederica, my lord.
Certainly.
Now that you mention it, it does seem strange. What could they be hoping to find there? Do you think that village is hiding secrets, other than the salt crystal? I suppose we won't know for sure until we ask them ourselves.
I need time.
Having bandits in our domain is certainly a problem that concerns House Wolford, and yet... So, we protected Roselle in this lap, so when the bandits raid that area, Jerome and the others are gonna be there, so... That's why probably we're gonna get Trish. However, the story is gonna be different than when we got Travis. The Crown City's finally back in Glenbrook's hands, but our work's far from over.
Listen, lad.
Where do you think we should go from here, lad? So you want to accompany Lady Frederica to the Rosellan Village, eh? Is it really that important right now, lad?
You're onto something.
It is pretty strange, now that you mention it. I doubt there's anything of interest there for your average bandit. Do you think it's possible they heard about the key that'll free the Roselle? If they did, there's a chance they think it'll fetch a pretty price. In any case, I'm worried about Jerome and the others. If this is the path we choose, we'd best make haste for that village. Thanks for that, lad. I think you might be right about the Rosellan Village. I will remain here in the capital, but you needn't worry about me. You must decide where you need to be, friend. We may have freed the capital from Esfrost's clutches, but there is still so much work to be done. As a member of the King's Guard, I wish to stay here and help unify the Crown City. You want us to make for the Rosellan Village? Are you certain this is the best time for that?
Good point.
I suppose you're right. This is a critical moment for him as a king. If the people saw that House Wolford had a hand in resolving the problem, they may be hesitant to acknowledge his power. Perhaps the capital is best left in King Roland's hands after all.
Okay.
I see now your reasons for wanting to visit the Rosellan Village. If the rumors of bandits are true, then Jerome and the others might be in danger. I must go to the village and see how my people are faring. Okay, we're gonna help you anyway.
Ah, yes?
Things are slowly settling down in the capital. Right now would be the perfect time to pay the Rosellan Village a visit. The rumors of bandits are clearly troubling her. Perhaps you could help put her mind at ease. Yeah, I think we convince everyone we want to convince.
It is time to cast our votes. We have 3 options before us. Return to the Wolfort domain, depart to the Rosellan Village, or stay in the capital. Approach the scales of conviction with your token at the ready.
You have my vote.
After much deliberation, I've decided to let their convictions lead us. Okay. This one's pretty easy.
I have faith in you.
Good faith in Lord Serenoa.
You won me over.
You have my vote.
The scales of conviction will illuminate the path we've chosen.
Unanimous.
The way forward is decided. We march to the Rosellan Village and drive the bandits from the surrounding woods. I shall accompany Frederica to defend the Rosellan Village. I know not what the bandits are after, but I cannot allow them to run rampant over the land.
Thank you, Serenoa. I'm heartened to have you by my side.
Very well. Fulfill your duty to your domain. I shall see to things in the capital.
Then I shall venture to the Wolfort domain and make our report to Lord Simon in your stead.
And this is farewell for now. King Roland, Benedict, until our reunion in the capital.
I think that's the last time we're gonna get Roland. Or we're gonna have Roland. Maybe the mines. We're gonna fight in the Grand Rosellan mines, and after that, no more Roland.